Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining today. I think whenever we get to this point in January, it's always exciting for us as a track and field staff just because we've made that transition from the fall into the spring sports and in really right now for the indoor season into the winter sports. And really excited about the upcoming indoor track and field season when we look at not only where our teams are at, both very capable, but we also have the opportunity to host the first ACC indoor championships here in the history of our program here at the Sports and Learning Center in Louisville. Such a beautiful facility that, I'm sure big things will come as we get to the end of February. But really excited about where both programs are at. We've got a number of young men and young women that are already qualified for the national championships and certainly look forward to seeing that group grow at this point in the season.
Dale, can you just speak to how important it is or what it means for the program to be hosting an indoor and ACC championship and kind of how it makes this year a little different with the schedule?
It does. I mean, we're blessed to host two outstanding track and field competitions, ourselves at the Sports and Learning Complex to kind of set that postseason experience up. And certainly the Norton Center is one of the top facilities in the country. It's fast on the track and the field events are outstanding. So great performances come from the Norton Sports and Learning Complex. But, the challenge that I didn't necessarily see coming, Jody, is kind of the element of how do we make this feel like a championship competition now while our students are sleeping in their own bed every night? Or, do we change that and move downtown? And how do we really make this feel like a championship opportunity for our team, not just the other 14 visiting teams from the league? Certainly want to put our student athletes in the best possible situation, and to ultimately have the camaraderie that you would get from traveling to some away competitions as well.
What kind of advantages does it give you? I mean, it's not your facility, but yet you're going to be there, and how often are you able, to kind of get there? What kind of advantages does it give you?
Well, I think our student athletes know that facility, very well. Obviously, we're in there as much as anybody is, at their home facility across the country. So our students are down there most weeks, Monday through Thursday, and both of our early season meets are down there as well. So the student athletes know the facility. They're comfortable with the facility, and certainly it does create a little bit of a home field advantage for the Cardinals.
You had such a memorable last year with a national champion with the success that you had. Just kind of maybe state of the program of each on the men's side and the women's side and kind of your expectations, for this group.
Yeah, I think this group's going to be able to continue to build upon the foundation that the last few seasons have really shown. I mean, I think when you look at our program the last 2 years, we've had an individual national champion. We've had top 25 finishes as a team. And this year, I think that's kind of the question going around is who's next? And that's the question that's in my mind is who's next, because there's a lot of young men and young women that are capable in our program of really competing at the next level for both ACC individual event championships and NCAA championships. I mean, I think when you look at where our program is right now, it's definitely a group that I can see being in the top 20 in the NCAA, which is outstanding representation since there's still 300 plus Division I track and field and cross country programs out there.
Well, Dale, I guess to bounce off that a little bit, have you even seen a change in how players are training because there's more added expectations, there's been more growth? I guess, have you seen that even more in players really itching to try to really step up and make a strong impression?
Absolutely. I think the thing that drives a team forward the most is the team members. The team members, especially in modern sport. I think when we really look at what produces the camaraderie, what makes a team grow forward, it's the student athletes pushing each other, and it's the student athletes trying to raise the bar and challenge each other to go to the next level. Sometimes the first person to do it is kind of lonely. But then the crowd normally grows, and right now that's the position we're at. The crowd has grown, and there's a lot of ACC contenders and All-American contenders on our team.
Not to put you on the spot and say who's next, but but with four of them sitting here, but can you kind of look at just kind of take us through. I mean, what do you kind of expect from a few of them, and in who is in that group that could step forward and potentially, win a championship?
Well, you're about to talk to a few of them, and certainly on the women's side, I think Sinclair Savage is sitting here is one of the ACC contenders in the women's long jump. Aaliyah Welter is an ACC contender in the women's pole vault, and both of them, I'm sure, have national aspirations that have not yet been achieved. So they're both kind of in that scenario as a student athlete where they know there's still more to come and that they're still capable of more. To round out the women's side, I think Zoe East has made a really nice move in the women's weight throw. I think Soledad Jean has made a really nice move in the women's high jump to kind of put herself in that same scenario. I think Elba Coons Iglesias is a freshman in the triple jump that is going to be right there with the best of them in the ACC. And I also think when you look at our entire women's sprints group, they're a little bit young right now, but they're moving in the right way. There's a lot of talent in there. So that's where the women's group is really going to be led. On the men's side, you're going to talk to Trey Allen here in a little bit, and he's leading what is arguably the best men's high jump group in the country. And Brian Stevens is not far behind. I think he'll be a strong national representative as well. So it's kind of different for Trey because he's the guy right now in our program that if you have an off day, like Brian Stevens is coming after you, and so is Luke Nichols. They're both really talented, and Jonah Hyde is our fourth high jumper. He's an all-ACC returner. I think when you look at the track, Sterling Warner Savage is obviously an ACC champ and a first-team All-American returning. Cameron Miller's been a huge addition to our program with new school records in the 300 meters, new school record in the 200 meters, and can also step up and run a relay leg for us on the 4x4. Jeremiah Willis is somebody that's been in contention in the past for ACC championships and certainly is a strong national representative as well. So the men's team, I really think, is in position from the sprints all the way through, the distance. I think when you see where Ian Kibiwat's at in a couple of weeks and Isaac Kiprop, I think I'm excited about that as well. So from the sprints all the way through the long distance with every field event along the way, I think we've got people that will represent our program at the highest level.
When you look at on the women's, you were talking about Aaliyah with the pole vault and the success that you guys have had in recent years. How did the jump come? I mean, because you guys, you've always been pretty good, but it's been so good in recent years. Why is that, you feel like?
Well, I think again, that was student-led. The students have put the work in, and they're really the ones that have pushed that group forward. Along with in the past, I mean, I'd be obviously lying if I didn't say that Coach Brooke Rasnick was a huge part of growing our pole vault program, and I'm certainly blessed right now to have Coach Mary Wood here continue to grow on that. The group has not missed a beat, and the vault program is something that I think Louisville has really come to be recognized as a place you want to go if you want to jump high and make sure just to know that you have all the resources available to you that it takes to jump at a really competitive level.
The last thing for me is how difficult is it, going through indoor? And you and I've talked before about the transition and the indoor and the outdoor. You're gonna have a meet here in the ACC, and then you go right into it. The schedule really doesn't stop between now and June, does it?
No, we keep rolling, and when we get to the end of the indoor championships in the middle of March, the following weekend we'll open the outdoor season, and that'll take us through. This year they actually pushed the U.S. championships back into the second week of July, so they've extended us a little bit longer this year. But those are great opportunities for our student athletes, and I look forward to seeing the students that earn that opportunity have the right to go pursue the highest level of track and field.
Actually, one more thing. Any newcomers? You mentioned, I think, one or two. Are there others? Because I know you have it's a large group of newcomers this year.
Yeah, I think Brian Stevens is certainly off to a great start in the men's high jump. He's coming down to us from Indianapolis. Elba Coons Iglesias is off to a tremendous start in the triple jump. She's from Spain. I think as you look at the rest of that group, certainly Tyraya Kelly is a very talented 200-meter runner from Texas, and I think as she continues to grow into the sprinter that she can be, she's going to take some others with her, whether it be Olivia Jenkins, who joined us from Michigan, or when you swing across on the men's side, certainly Jalen Cole, local Louisville native, has been doing a great job. and is a big part of the sprints program's future. Certainly with Jalen Cole, and certainly with Nolan Macklin got off to an awesome start in the 200 meters last week as well.